Hello, happy Sunday. Hope you're all having a relaxing weekend. I just thought I'd quickly pop in. Hope you guys can't hear all the background noise now. Just as I went live, my neighbor started to trill. That's kind of hilarious. But anyway, back to the topic. I thought today, let's talk about this receiving again, right? Receiving for us trauma survivors can be really challenging. And I talk about receiving compliments, right? When your boss says, oh, you've done a great job, or whether your co-worker is commenting on your new hairstyle there, or your neighbors on your gardening, maybe you have a beautiful garden, or complimenting your meal, or when you're receiving a gift, perhaps it was a spontaneous gift, right? This can be very triggering for our nervous system, and that's totally understandable given the traumas that we have been through. Often with interpersonal trauma in our childhood, there was a twistedness about gifts. I'm guessing that you guys all understand what I mean by that. For other people, that sounds often very strange. I often have those conversations with my friends. They really don't understand why receiving is so difficult for me. Okay, so I'm sharing that with you guys because this has been a long journey for me to be able to open up a little bit, allowing myself to be a little bit more vulnerable. Because I don't know what happens to you, but anytime someone would make a compliment, or I would receive a gift, or even just my friend shouting me the coffee, right? My friend wanting to pay for the coffee, I can feel my body shutting down. What does it feel like to you? Have you got a sensation in your body and you just know that squishiness, or maybe it's nausea for you? There's something happening within our body, right? So we know our nervous system is having a full reaction here. And that is because our nervous system works by association, right? So it knows, it remembers instantly. Oh, yeah, remember in the past, whether this was in childhood or, whether it was 10 years ago or 5 years ago, it brings all those memories back up where people have given you something, but there was something attached to it, right? So when I'm talking about being open to receiving gifts now, I actually mean from nurturing people, caring people, the majority of the people. I'm not talking about the toxic or the narcissistic, the twistedness, where people are really abusive towards you, and then to make up for it, they give you a gift, but they never actually apologize for being abusive or hurting you or doing something wrong. They're not acknowledging that. They feel like there's a gift there and it should just be forgotten, that kind of stuff, right? Or in the childhood, you might have had experiences like I did. Kids can sometimes be very cruel, and they could have a bag of lollies and they give a lolly to all their friends, and then they hold one out to me, and it's like, yeah, and you get excited as a child, I get a lolly too, and then as you grab it, they pull it away. So no, I'm not giving, you're not one of my friends, I'm not giving one to you. Those kind of things, that those experiences that we have, and those experiences in itself is perhaps not so traumatic, but in the big scheme of things that we have been through, but they just add layers for our brain to really try to protect ourselves from receiving. It feels like this is dangerous. Well, if we look at it on a from a biological level too, and like if you're the person giving, and I'm assuming most of us have no issue in giving, being generous and making compliments to other people or giving gifts and things like that. When we give, there's actually neurochemicals released that help us feel better, like oxytocin and things. There is a biological reason why giving can feel good. The healthy giving, the no strings attached kind of giving, the beautiful gesture. When we really mean, like I don't like the commercialized way of giving, like the Christmas and birthdays and things like that, where you feel like you have to give that person something because this is just so, our society, that's the standards. I don't like that kind of giving. But what I love is if I'm in a shop and I see something, this is just so that person, or that person would love that, they would really geek out about this, or something like that. If I see that, I love giving that way. It's that spontaneous, and it makes me feel really good as well, not just the person I am giving it to, right? So we want to keep that in mind as well, because it helps the other person to feel good, right? But what I also try to do is actually twist it for myself sometimes. Like this is how I feel, I give it to my friend, and when I then think, oh my gosh, if my friend would have the same kind of melodrama around receiving, and they would instantly think, like when I'm giving it them, having thoughts like I used to have, oh, what's the motive behind that? Are they wanting me to do a favor, or do they want me to do something that I don't like doing? And those kind of things, those thoughts that we have around. If my friend would think that about me, right? I'll be horrified, right? Because it comes from a genuine place, and I had to constantly remind myself of that the people in my life now, I'm very selective about my friends, I have very few, but they're close friends that I know I can trust them. And it also helped me to actually speak it out once for one of my friends, right? We really had that conversation, and I could say to her, I know when you gave that to me yesterday, I acted really weird. I was very, in strange ways. And to let her know that this wasn't about her, I said I just close off when I receive. It's so difficult for me to receive something, to let that in, to allow myself to feel good about this, because there was always something bad attached to gifts in the past, or not always, but a lot of enough times for my nervous system to really freak out now, right? So, because I don't know, yeah, and let me know if that's something that you have tried as well when you're working through trying to be more open to receiving. Please share with us too. What did help you there? So for me, having that conversation with that one friend, so she knew how I felt about that, so she could help talk me through whenever she had a gift for me. No, we didn't have that so often, but sometimes it was even just coming around, and I didn't know, but she made a special gluten-free cake for me, and that was not planned. Even that can really be triggering for us, right? It can really give our nervous system like a full reaction. It can feel so uncomfortable, it can feel so wrong, we can feel so unworthy of it as well. Sometimes there's not just the motive that we question behind this because of our past. Often it's that sense that I'm not worthy of actually having a friend like this who treats me like that. Is this real, Or I always had that thing going on in my head. I think, if she would really know who I am, like if she would know everything, then she would not be my friend, kind of thing, I used to go down all these dark alleys and things like that, questioning my friends. But they were actually real, genuinely good, caring people. And it took me a long time to I don't know, untangle that in my brain, so I no longer had those reactions every time with those certain people, at least. Now I'm much better. I have so many years of working on this. I was a very, very slow progress there, just being super honest here, and sometimes the first person might be a therapist. And that's okay too, to actually explore that in that setting, having your therapist make a compliment. As long as those things are genuine and not have that same twistedness to it as in our past, then learning to be okay and allowing that to touch our heart, right? Like, especially for people, I have some of my friends that are the most amazing gardeners, it just looks stunning. And but some of my friends are also struggling with receiving. So when I make compliments, I can tell now when they are what it looks like on them, because I can see them shutting down the same way as me. So it's quite interesting how we can help each other out there and be almost tighter it, trip. Sprinkle it so your nervous system can get used to that a little bit more, and allowing yourself to feel safe now in my adult life, and realizing that receiving is okay, and knowing that the giving biological makes us makes the other person feel good as well, the act of giving, and allowing ourselves to actually receive and let that feel good as well there. So, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that as well, as always, and in the meantime I'm sending you lots and lots of love and rainbows to brighten up the tough times just a little. See ya guys, bye.